Here's a truth that still haunts mental health discussions. Millions of people silently avoid discussing their antidepressant use, fearing rejection, judgment, or even loss of friendships. A woman from Copenhagen once shared, "I haven't told my friends about it either. I told one person, and now he doesn't talk to me anymore." At first glance, this sounds like a confession of a major life mistake. But she was simply describing her experience with antidepressant medication. This was over 20 years ago, yet the stigma persists. Have we truly made progress in the past 2 decades? Recent studies suggest not. People still feel embarrassed about taking antidepressants, fearing this will make them seem weak or broken, and this emotional burden can lead to treatment abandonment. One person in a 2019 study bluntly stated, "I just thought I can't be bothered being judged for it." And here's the twist. This stigma isn't confined to any one culture. A 2023 review revealed that even in the Nordic countries, often seen as progressive, mental health stigma remains as entrenched as elsewhere. So why do antidepressants, a common treatment for a condition affecting 82% of Danes at some point in their lives, remain so taboo? Let's dig deeper. But here's where it gets controversial. Some argue that antidepressants are stigmatized because they're seen as a quick fix for emotions that should be handled naturally. Others worry they're a crutch for people who should just tough it out. These views ignore a critical fact. Depression is not a choice, yet the myth persists. For example, people fear that taking antidepressants signals a severe mental illness or emotional fragility. This misunderstanding is compounded by the idea that antidepressants are somehow addictive, a fear that, while largely unfounded, still deters people from seeking help. And this is the part most people miss. The stigma isn't just about the pills. It's about how society interprets the reasons behind taking them. Antidepressants work by balancing brain chemistry, but this has led to a dangerous oversimplification. Many believe depression is purely biological, ignoring the complex interplay of genetics, environment, and trauma. This misconception is fueling stigma in a surprising way. Studies show that when people are told depression is genetic, they're more likely to avoid those with the condition, and even perceive them as dangerous. Even mental health professionals sometimes fall into this trap, linking biogenetic explanations to reduced empathy. But here's the catch. No illness is 100% genetic. Depression arises from a mix of biology and environment. Yet public education on this nuance remains sorely lacking. So what can be done? Research offers hope. When people are taught that depression stems from both genetic and environmental factors, stigma decreases. Programs like psychiatric genetic counseling, where experts explain how genes and life experiences interact, have been shown to empower individuals and reduce self-blame. One participant in a study described the relief of realizing their condition wasn't their fault, which helped them stop internalizing shame about medication. But here's the elephant in the room. If antidepressants are just as valid as insulin for diabetes or blood pressure meds, why the double standard? The answer lies in a toxic mix of outdated biases, fear of chemical dependency, and the myth that mental health is purely a personal failing. Until society embraces the full truth that depression is a medical condition shaped by biology and environment, we'll keep stigmatizing those who seek help. Your turn to weigh in. Do you think antidepressants are unfairly stigmatized, or is the concern about over-medicalization justified? Share your thoughts below. Let's challenge the stigma together.